Trash pad. The name of a thrash band or the project at my house? The answer is both. We're trying to build this 10-foot by 3-foot patio blocked pad on the side of our house that will store all of our garbage cans for when they're not out at the street for the people to empty and return. So we started building this thing, and we went to the hardware store, got all the stuff, and started working on it, realized that we were short on topsoil, so we went back to the hardware store, got more soil, and then when we got that part done, it was time to do the next thing. We don't have enough parts for that either. So anyway, I've got a third trip to the hardware store due tomorrow to finish this whole thing. What was broken in that? My perspective, plan, and power. First, my perspective. I figured it would be a piece of cake. You just flatten the earth and put some patio blocks in. I didn't see what was going on underneath the earth, wavy gravy as it was. My plan, I assumed everything would be fine based on my perspective. What do you need? Some topsoil and pavers, big deal. No, not so much. My power, man, did I get worn out by the 709th dig and rake of soil. I say all that to say this, James 1:5-9. Hold on to that trash pad while you hear the word, which is a funny statement in and of itself. James writes, "If any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you. But when you ask, you must believe and not doubt, because the one who doubts is like a wave of the sea blown and tossed by the winds. That person should not expect to receive anything from the Lord. Such a person is double-minded and unstable in all they do." And that's the word of the Lord. Listen, it's very simple. We go into the day today with our perspective, plan, and power, or God's. Our perspective is we think that we see how everything is, and so we come up with a plan on how to carry it out, and then we do it by our own power. Well, as it turns out, our perspective is incomplete, our plan is foolish, and our power is insufficient. Now we shift over to the Lord, who says, if you need wisdom, and by the way, any challenge, any day, anything requires wisdom. We need to have wisdom, right? And so God says, if you need it, ask for it. But when you ask for it, do not doubt. Otherwise, you're like the waves of the sea, tossed to and fro by the wind. Now imagine, if you will, perhaps the Atlantic Ocean, Lake Michigan, the Pacific Ocean, whatever, and all those waves just randomly going back and forth according to the wind and the gravitational pull of the moon, and it's chaos. It's low-level chaos. That's kind of how it is inside of us when we're in a spot, a predicament, a situation that needs something beyond ourselves. So we naturally think that we see it all, perspective, then we come up with a plan based on what we see, and then we try to carry it out. It never, ever, ever works. And so God says, ask me for wisdom, and I'll give you perspective you don't have. I'll give you a plan that takes into account what you don't see, and then I'll give you the power to do it. But James is really clear. He says, you must ask and not doubt. Why? Why is it that we have to ask without doubt? Because God is not trying to show us that he will give us anything we ask. God is trying to build relationship with us that is based on trust, faith, and submission. And we won't do it if we're trying to do it by our own perspective, plan, and power. We do it by his. That's a better way to go. Do it that way, today, every day. That's RadCast.